In the Factor follow-up segment tonight, protests during the National Anthem at sporting events have made their way from professional playing fields to college campuses. Bill recently spoke with John Calipari, head coach of the University of Kentucky men's basketball team, about how he's handling his players in the middle of all this PC madness. Mr. Calipari is the author of the brand new bestseller, Success is the Only Option.
So, Coach, here's what I want to know. Has the chaos on college campuses filtered down to your team? The politically correct madness, Black Lives Matter, Trump-Clinton election, is that filtered into your squad?
It's not been crazy on our campus right now, but I will tell you, we talk as a team, as a group. I bring up the stuff. When things happen in our country, I want to talk about it with these guys, because sometimes they're into their phones and their iPads and they're not paying attention to some of these things, and I think they need to be.
Okay, when a guy like Colin Kaepernick kneels down for the national anthem, every athlete knows that within a minute. Has that come up in your discussions?
Before our first game, I talked about it for 2 or 3 days. If anybody has an issue, I need you to talk to me about it. Let's talk about this. See, it's different. NBA, NFL is different than an 18, 19-year-old
Sure.
who is not, they don't know who they are as a person, let alone a basketball player. My job is to educate them. And their job is to understand that unless you agree with the entire cause, you're not moving in that direction. It's like my own son retweeting something, and I'm like, why'd you do that? Well, I just retweeted it. No, you're saying you agree. You need to know the full thing. So that's the first part of this.
So nobody at the University of Kentucky basketball team said, listen, I want to not stand up during the national anthem, or I want to give the Black Power salute, or anybody? You haven't had that?
No, but I also went through, there's a consequence to some of this stuff.
Would you allow it, Coach? If somebody sat down during the national anthem, would you allow it?
I would know it was going to happen before it happened.
And what would you say?
Well, I would say, look, I'm going to support you, but you're going to have consequences now.
So you would allow it?
Well, what am I going to do? If I'm standing there with my hand on my heart and the guy down 7 ends up kneeling, I've got to deal with it. Look, I'm dealing with, again, someone's son that my job is to educate. My job is to make sure they know the consequence to what they're doing. To know.
But Kaepernick knows the consequence. But you asked me, well, what can I do? Here's what I would do if I were a coach. And if I weren't doing this, I think I would be a coach, probably football. I would say to my college kids, look, you're representing the school, not just yourself. And if you want to protest something, we'll give you that opportunity to do so, but not during the game. And that includes the national anthem. So if you don't want to stand up, stay in the locker room, come out after the national anthem. That's what I would do. Fair?
Probably fair, but again, I would tell you that educating these kids on what this is about. I've talked to them about, if you believe in something, you can make a stand without offending the whole world. You can do things.
Yeah, there are ways to do it, sure.
And that's, so I think you and I are speaking the same language.
What about discipline? You don't see a lot of discipline on college campuses anymore, not just in the athletic realm, but just in general. Kids run wild, do what they want, burn the American flag, jump up and down. They need safe rooms. They you know, come on. When you and I were, it was like totally ridiculous. Do you have a line that you draw, and do you threaten these kids if they do certain things, they're out of here? Do you do that?
Well, again,
tough love.
I got to protect them against themselves sometimes. So we have curfew. I'm telling you, Kentucky's not for everybody. There's 11 o'clock curfew. If you're out, you're not playing. I have to do stuff to protect these kids because, again, you got parents giving me their child.
Sure.
And they're extremely talented, and I talk about that in the book. I'm not afraid to coach them. I'm challenging them. But in the same sense, wow, they got this thing going, and I got to protect them against themselves and sometimes against others.
How many kids do you lose? I mean, you recruit, they come in. How many kids just, won't play it your way?
Very few, because the recruiting process weeds that out.
Okay.
So if I walk in a home and a young man is disrespectful to his mother or his grandmother, I'm out. not going to be respectful to me or the rules
It's
or
interesting
anything
you didn't
else.
say father.
Well,
most of them are in mom or grandma homes, right?
Yes, but I will say this. Some of the best kids I've coached were raised by their mother or grandmother. Even better, because sometimes fathers trying to live through.
Yeah, it's not a lost leader, but it's interesting that you said that. The book is Success is the Only Option, and certainly Coach Calipari has tremendous success. And it's great to have you in here. Thank you.
Thank you.